Hello YouTube! Alright, today I'm going to change gears from doing groundwork and I'm going to make a bridge. And I'm going to make that bridge out of an O-scale hopper. This hopper right here, in particular, used to belong to my grandfather. It was part of his old layout. And I've been thinking about it for a while, and I want to, even though this is an HO scale layout, I believe I can use this, and I believe that it would make a nice bridge for right here to put between these two modules. Now that's the thing. This is a section where two modules meet, so I'm gonna have to make this as two separate bridges that meet in the middle. But yeah, I've got some ideas and I'm ready to put them into action. Let's begin. All right, today on Model Railroading with Bill Masters. Okay, so first things first. This is one of the many reasons why I went modular. I'll pull these modules apart, and that way I'll be able to pull my chair in and work right up on the bridge area that I'm going to build without having to lean over. Alright, I got my front modules all pulled out of the way, and that gives me easy access to all my back modules. And this is the area that I'm going to focus on today. Alright, here is the hopper that I am planning on converting into a bridge. O-scale, actually says built by Lionel on here. Now, a little bit of viewer discretion for all you O-scale modelers out there. This may be a little bit difficult to watch because I am going to cut this up into quarters because where the layout, where the modules meet is where the bridge is. And so this bridge has to be cut in half, and due to the fact that it needs to be widened, I'm gonna have to cut it longwise too. So this car will never ride the rails again, but it hasn't, trust me, since at least the 1960s. Now this car used to belong to my grandfather, but when he had it, I'm sure he used it for a while. It was before my time. The time I knew him, this was always just in a box underneath its layout, getting rusty and collecting dust. He never was using his O-scale cars. When I came along, I feel like he might not mind me doing this because it breathes new life into this car and basically puts it into service again, you know, in a different way. So let's begin. Now it's got this metal plate right here, which is not gonna be useful for my needs. So let me see if I can pop that out of there. All right, and these rivets came out. Okay, so this is not gonna be a popular decision, I think. Decided I'm gonna go orient it with this end up, which means all of this is going to be upside down, and so I'm just going to paint over it. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. I'll do that off camera. I'll do it with just some soap and water, and I'll be back. Now I want to cut this where the modules meet, so I want it to not hang over. Now this is dead center. It might make more sense to put the cut here. But if I put it on my layout, the modules meet about right here. So that's where I'm going to cut it. But now I want to go ahead and score it all the way around where I marked it with the little gouge right there. Now for this cut, since this is going to be the most visible cut, even though I am going to cover it with a piece of wood, I'm going to go ahead and cut it by hand with my razor saw. And then the long cut, I'll use my Dremel tool because that will be completely hidden. Okay, now to cut it long ways. So the cut does not have to be dead center at all. That absolutely does not matter. So I'm just going to use the length of my square here. All right, now I got some burrs to clean up. It's not too bad. Now what I was trying to avoid with that angle cut was, so on the Dremel tool, this piece spins, and I actually did nick it a little bit, but if I hold it too close to here, it just grinds away at the edge of my the sidewall, and well, we can't be having that. One thing you might be tempted to do when cutting is to go like that and pull towards you. Bad idea. You want to cut yourself, go for it. All right, I've got all my pieces cleaned. Now for the width, I've got a bridge right here. I want to make my new bridge the same width as the trestle bridge. I'm gonna cut a bunch of these to this length. I'll measure that out, and then I'll cut just enough to go the whole length for now. I'm just gonna cut a few to hold it together, because of what I want to do is I want to take a piece of styrene, fill that in. I'll just use my HO scale ruler here. So that comes to, I'll cut it to about, well, you know what, I'm gonna start at the end here. But this HO scale ruler, actually 0 starts in about an HO foot. Judging from that point, it's 17 HO feet. So what I'm gonna do, I am going to set that aside. I've got my chopper here that I use whenever I'm cutting a large amount. And I'm gonna set the gauge here. That's 17. You know, I mean, and this could be 16, it could be 18, but once I find a width, I'm gonna stick with it. So we'll go for 17. All right. So to start off with, I'm just gonna, I got this whole container of coffee stir sticks, and I use these quite a lot. They're cheap, and yeah, they're very useful. Yeah, I'll just cut a few of these to start with. All right, for gluing wood to plastic, super glue is your friend. Okay, for starters, I am going to just put them, you know, space them out about like that. And then I will cut that styrene. No, I'll put this all the way to the end. And then I'll cut that styrene, and that'll be one layer over it. That'll add a little bit of strength to it. Probably cut a little piece of styrene and put it into there as well. That'll make it super strong. But to finish it off, I'll be doing these planks the entire way. But I want to put those planks on after I paint it, because I want the planks to be obviously wood. So yeah, I don't want to put any primer over the planks that are going to be exposed. All right, I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other end. For the sake of keeping this video shorter, I won't record that. All right, let's put some styrene on. Remember, we went with, from the very tip, 17 feet in HO scale. All right, just gonna cut it with scissors. So that is where I had intended it. I'm just gonna mark it like that. So that'll be glued on like that, and that piece goes here. Let's glue this down. All right, now the underside. Now you might be thinking to yourself, you know, nobody's going to ever see the underside, but you know, sometimes they may. And you know, depending on how you might want to take pictures on your layout. I've learned that just because it's the underside doesn't mean it won't be seen. You might end up staging a picture that's you'll be looking right at that. So I'm definitely going to put some more planks underside. All right, I went ahead and cut a whole bunch more of these. I'm going to work on these edges. I'm going to take a couple of these. Use them up there. All right, I'll set that off to the side and do the other piece. So the way this bridge is going to work is I'm going to have a trestle bent underneath, and then you won't see that part. Let me go ahead and put some work out here. So I'm going to need to put some verticals here. Now what I think I'll do, since these are gonna go like that, I will take some horizontals. Let's see, I'm gonna kind of line them up on the girts. Let's see, I'll do it exactly the same on the other side too. There, I think that'll be good. I'll do the same thing over here. What would be better for this job that I'm using for the X-Acto knife would be a pick, a dental pick. Because I could just see that blade slipping and slicing right across my finger. Now, the X-Acto knives they're good, for picking up pieces, setting them into place. But moving pieces around, no, not so good. All right. I have one piece I need to fix here. See how that's sticking out like that. Turn that back. Yeah, that's better. Okay, that's better. All right, so now I'm gonna work on the fitting where the bridges are gonna meet. Because what I had planned to do is I wanted to put a piece like this, a couple of pieces, kind of make it so that it's a fitting, and it kind of joins together. Now I'm going to need a larger piece of wood though, and I'm not sure I have it. Worst comes to worst, I could use the styrene, but my styrene's a little thin. So let me see what I got. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I cut this little piece of styrene. What I'll do is I'll glue it on this end. Same on that side. And then it'll fit together that way. I'll just do two of them. The other side's gonna be the same. For this, I'm going to set it flat. Unfortunately, it'd be hard to see on camera. So I'll just go ahead and do that and I'll come back. All right, so it is glued only on this side. And that will allow these two pieces to slide together and lock. I added a piece to the underside as well. It's smaller and I kind of bent it in a little bit, and that will kind of help it stay in place a little. I think this is ready for paint, so I'm going to go ahead and do the spray paint. All right, let's go paint. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the underside first. A little bit of brown color Rust-Oleum. It's kind of rusty brown. I've got it propped up with a couple of shelf brackets. Seems to do the trick. I'm not going to record the process because I'm not set up to record out here. But I'll be back when it's painted. All right, so I think that's all the spray paint I'm going to put on it. It's a little dark on this side, sorry, you can't really see it that well. But so what I did, so first of all, I went over it with a primer, let that dry for a couple hours. And then I went over it with this sort of green Rust-Oleum camouflage. It's a little bit of a dark green. They never say what the color of it actually is on the can. It's interesting, which is why on this can I actually sprayed some on that label and stuck it on there. But anyway, so after I painted it with this green, I just kind of misted it, dusted it with a dark brown. I ended up with kind of that. See the green underneath with a slight brown dusting over the top of it. And that is it for now. I'm gonna let it dry and then I'll bring it into the house. The paint is to the point where I can kind of work with it. It's not completely dry, but I'm gonna go ahead and resting it on there for a bit. I'm gonna go ahead and put some planks on there. So here is how it came out. This, of course, is gonna get heavily weathered, and the planks are gonna go along here. They're gonna go like that. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and glue that on. I'm gonna go ahead and beef up the middle where the planks are gonna go with a crossbar right here, cross beam. All right, so let's get started. All right, now, super glue and wood stain, they don't mix. I'm gonna try to get, I know I got a little bit of it on the surface, but you know, once you get it on there, it's not coming off it because it seeps into the wood. All right, these brushes here, these are actually for makeup. And they work great for model railroading. How do I know? Well, I saw it in a video on YouTube. Bit dusty. So those are as together as they're gonna be. I wanna take a piece of track, just rest it on there. And then I want to take some sticks going long ways. So I want this piece to go along where the track, just, you know, it's kind of rest alongside of it. So it cut that piece there, and all right, let me cut these pieces and I'm gonna glue them on. All right, I'm just checking now to see how we did. And what I'm actually noticing here, this is something I wish I had checked. It seems to sag in the middle. It does. So let's look at that. I can fix it, but look. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to see it, but let's see. Yeah, it just sags that much. So that's easy to fix. I'm gonna put that. All right, now I've got these pins here. I think I'm going to start off with gray. These are furniture touch-up pins. This, of course, is going to get some more, weathering over the top. And whoops.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Here we go. Everywhere you see the lighter spots, that's what the glue was. So, yeah, try to be careful of it. All right, so I've got a white touch-up marker now, and I just am gonna, hit small spots here, just to kind of give it a little accent. All right, now that is not the final look here. It is just part of a step. So now I'm going to take a brown one. And now back to the gray one. A little bit of black chalk here. Now I'm putting a little burnt umber on there just to dirty it up a little. And to kind of help hit the areas that the stain wouldn't take to. remember, this is next to a waterfall, so... This paint is called Dry Rust. All right, I do have one additional thing that I like to use, and that is, if I can get it open, rust streaks. Now this stuff, I am gonna put kind of in the center of the track, hopefully. Kind of gonna give an oil kind of appearance. Of course, there is going to be track laid over this, so most of that you're not going to see. Until the track's laid down, you're going to see it. So put it on there. That is a rusty bridge. I think I'm gonna take and do a little bit more rust from chalk. Just gotta weather it a little. Yeah, that adds a nice reddish tone to it. I really like that, actually. Gonna go all our way around it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up, and then I will show this off a little more. All right, I'll kind of show it right here. It's about the best light I can find. There we go. And that's how the top turned out. There's the other side. Same as the other side. All right, now one of the ways that I tend to catch details that I've missed is by taking a picture and you know, it's kind of studying that picture. And then I got to looking at it and realized that I need something along here. See how that's just kind of flat metal with no real features on it. It's just part of the side. It looks great from the outside, but from the inside, it's just not very realistic. So I have some of this 16th inch wooden, these 16th of an inch wooden pieces here. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it kind of like that, you know, just to raise it a little bit. And I'll also cut some pieces to, you know, make kind of railings. All right, there it is. All right, I have one thing that I want to do to this bridge. This is kind of an afterthought. If I had had this planned sooner, I would have done it before I did the weathering. But I want to take some letters and spell across here G.E. Thompson Memorial Bridge, because this used to belong to my grandfather. So I figure I should do some kind of a dedication to him, because without him I wouldn't be even really be interested in model railroading today. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I decided I'm gonna put it, you know, like this end of the bridge. It's not gonna span the whole bridge, but I'm gonna need to mark it out. Just put a letter. Excuse me, just put a line, just kind of guide me with these letters. These are what I'm going to use. Probably going to use this size right here for both the name and the Memorial Bridge. And then after I put that on, I'll try to weather it a little bit. Not the best centering, and yeah, it's a little crooked. I can't really see the line, but yeah, I think it'll work. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I'll age it, and it won't be as prominent. Yeah, I've never really been all that good at doing dry transfer letters. Figure I'd start with my old standby rusting AK rust streaks. And just kind of go over the letters themselves. Try not to veer too far off. It's time to get my glasses updated. I actually do have an appointment. While I got the tiny paintbrush out, I wanted to try something. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go with it. All right, I think I'm done though. All right, now I'm gonna go over it with just a tad bit more chalk. These are the chalks that I'm using to do my weathering. Basically what I'm doing, I go really light on the black. Just kind of hold it back a little bit, and then give it a all right. That is enough on the black, and you know, basically a little really light on the red too. Okay, now take a cosmetic brush here, and I'm just gonna, first of all, to get that like it. All right. I'm gonna stop there. Don't want to go overboard. Okay. There we go. My bridge is done. This video is getting pretty long, so we're gonna make this a two-part video. The second part, I will be putting the bridge, I'll be mounting the bridge onto the layout. So that's going to be it for tonight. And, well, I will see you next week in part 2. And, yeah, have a good night.